The 4th of July is just 10 days away, but the fireworks can start going off starting this afternoon. KNEB.TV News starts right now.
From your trusted source for news in western Nebraska and eastern Wyoming, this is KNEB.TV News. Presented by Platte Valley Companies, premier provider of financial services.
Hello, I'm Ryan Murphy. This is KNEB.TV News powered by Platte Valley Companies. Thanks for joining me. And our top story. Today marks the first day of Nebraska's 10-day selling period for fireworks, but officials are putting safety first before retailers can begin. Yesterday, City of Scottsville Fire Prevention Officer Chris Perales Jr. was making the rounds for inspections. He tells KNEB News what in particular he was looking for before signing off.
So I'm making sure that there's no illegal fireworks. Chinese lanterns and wire sparklers are still unfortunately illegal in the state of Nebraska, so we're looking for any of those items. We're looking to make sure that the store is set up safely and meets all state applicable laws and local laws to be able to sell fireworks. We're making sure that they have the fire extinguishers available, signage to make sure that people aren't selling within or discharging fireworks within 300 feet, things of those nature.
This year, the Scottsville Fire Department, Scottsville Police Department, and Gering Police Department all chipped in to help remind firework users about important do's and don'ts.
Yes, so this year we partnered up with Scottsbluff PD, Gering PD, and Gering Fire Department to generate these cards. On the law enforcement side, it has all of the ordinances on discharge times and things that you cannot do with fireworks. And it covers the discharge time for both Scottsbluff and Gering residents. And on the other side, it has all of our safety guidelines for discharging fireworks. These came at a very cheap cost. They were at about $30 per department for 1,000 of them, and they're going to be handed out at some of our fireworks stands this year.
Perales also wanted to highlight some items that tend to lead to more fire calls, or even worse, trips to the hospital.
First and foremost, alcohol and fireworks don't always mix very well. So when you're lighting and discharging out fireworks, always be responsible and be safe about it. So when you're discharging fireworks, always make sure they're on a stable ground. Make sure they're not going to tip over or light off at people. Make sure you're not lighting them near any undischarged fireworks because that could be problematic. If you have to on the bigger ones, take a brick and just put it over so that way it can help prevent it from tipping over, things of that nature. Some of our Roman candles, what you'll see is people like to point them at each other, and while some people may find that fun, someone could end up getting burned or severely hurt. Burns are not fun to deal with and they can be very painful. So once again, can't stress enough to be responsible when discharging fireworks. Don't point them at people, don't point them at anything that's combustible. So any dried up shrubs, grass, vegetation, houses, definitely don't be lighting these in vehicles or anything like that. And don't be discharging any fireworks from any moving vehicles. Other important factors is always have a water source available, whether that's a garden hose or a bucket of water. So if you have a firework that doesn't discharge for whatever reason, we encourage that you soak that in water for at least 24 hours. Do never try to relight a firework that doesn't discharge because it may still go off as you're trying to relight it. Or it may explode if there's a malfunction. The other thing is any firework that has been successfully discharged, put it in that bucket, let it soak for 24 hours. And then you can discharge or throw that away in the dumpster. What happens is every year fire departments are called for dumpster fires, vegetation fires, and if we can help mitigate that this year, that would be great.
He estimates that there's about 8 outlets within city limits that will be selling fireworks in 2025, including the 2 brick and mortars on either side of town. And one of Scottsbluff's longest-serving fireworks outlets is excited to showcase its new offerings to the public. Eric Wilcox, owner of Discount Fireworks on East Overland, says a lot of time, money, and preparing has gone into this year's free fireworks show set for tonight.
We've got a lot of people already calling because on opening day that night we do a product demonstration. And it's at 9:15 next to the building, and everybody wants to know, are you still doing it? And we've done that for 29 years now, our product display. But then you have all the families and little kids coming in with their grandparents or parents, and they're all excited because they get to light fireworks off for the next 10 days.
Discount Fireworks will be open daily from 9 a.m. until 10 p.m. during the period leading up to the 4th of July. and are featuring a lot of new products in 2025. We'll have more news right after this.
Whether you're gardening, searching for the perfect vacation home, or planning your next travel destination, your life is just as unique. Your Raymond James financial advisors, Jody Rosiska and Kevin Figg, get to know you, your passions, and your vision for the future, so you can live your life. That's life well planned.
Welcome back. The Nebraska State Patrol is renewing calls for motorists to pay attention to the road after a third Troopers Park Patrol unit was struck in the span of 2 weeks, with the most recent now Monday night in Omaha, with a trooper being hospitalized when the Troopers Patrol unit was struck by a large truck. During a media conference in Omaha yesterday, Superintendent Bryant Waugh said this is an alarming trend that has to end.
Our troopers, along with other crash responders, tow operators, and road crews, deserve better from our motoring public. When you approach a crash scene, traffic stop, work zone, or even another motorist pulled over onto the shoulder of the roadway, move over, slow down, and give them room to work safely. Lives are depending on you paying attention while driving. When you're behind the wheel, the road deserves your full focus.
NDOT Director Vicki Kramer also spoke and implored the motoring public to avoid all distractions to end this alarming trend.
At the end of the day, we've done everything. We've passed new laws, we've done education, we've brought attention to it, we've held press conferences like this, but it comes down to one major thing: people taking responsibility for their own actions. We almost got a trooper killed last night. There have been too many close calls in the last 2 weeks. We need your help. We need the public to take an active responsibility in making sure that people go home every night. Nebraska DOT has had 2 members killed in the last 2 years. This is more than we've seen overseas with our Nebraska National Guard.
Troopers have issued 57 citations for violation of the Move Over law in 2025. That compares to 55 at the same point in 2024 and 39 in 2023. Well, the Sioux County Sheriff has asked the Nebraska State Patrol to investigate an incident involving a dog being shot. A viral social media post has been circulating since last Wednesday, claiming Sheriff Chad McCumbers had shot a neighbor's dog that had wandered onto his property. KNB News reached out to McCumbers for his side of the story, and due to the third-party investigation, he simply told us that, quote, in an act of transparency, he requested the NSP to investigate the incident, which is underway now. The dog, named Neve, passed away earlier this week, 5 days after the shooting.
I imagined retirement in a place where we could enjoy our golden years, where adventure and friendship are the only items on the schedule. The Garden Homes at Northfield gives us the luxury we planned for and peace of mind when it comes to convenience, safety, and comfort. We never have to stop and think about the day-to-day upkeep. We love to explore abroad, but most importantly in our backyard. So much to do, so much to see. Here at Northfield, we get the protection of life care, incredible tax benefits, and secured rates for aging services. It's peaceful, knowing that if our needs change, we'll be taken care of. And most importantly, that our kids will never have to make any tough decisions. There never seemed to be enough time to do all the things we wanted. Now we get to focus our energy on enjoying what this community has to offer. At the Garden Homes, life is ours again. A place we had dreamed about. A chance to focus on us.
south of Bear, Nebraska, you'll find a small town called Redington. That's where we're at this week for our In the Field update. Catching up with David Schuler at Schuler Angus. Also has row crops and alfalfa. So get an update here when it comes to the crops from David. Let's talk about the whole operation, though. I mentioned there's livestock. That's a big aspect of what you guys do.
Yeah, so we're pretty diversified with seed stock. Red Angus is our main flagship operation with my family. But we feed our own feedstuffs and sell some corn as well and grow our own dry matter as well, like millet and alfalfa and oats and stuff like that. So
we've got the cornfield behind us. When was planting for you guys?
Yeah, so we started planting May 4th and ended around May 14th, trying to get it all on the ground. Got some good rains with it, so before it got real wet.
Talk about the moisture. You're turning pivots on here this week, it sounds like.
Yeah, it sure got hot this week, and the sandy grounds doesn't hold that moisture that we were blessed with earlier, so we really got to get our pivots going, get the chemication going on all of them. But this will be the first time they've been going around, which is unique for my lifetime that they've been able to make it this far as well.
Also have your hay crop. Have you got your first cut of your alfalfa done?
Yep, we just finished that up yesterday. We ensiled it, put in some haylage with triticale and alfalfa together so we can get that off so the next crop can get going, just in case it would get rained on, so we can get hopefully 3 more off of that circle.
You have cattle as your main focus. I'm sure you're always thinking about cattle and grazing and different opportunities with them. And to that point, you're doing something unique where within your corn, you're planting some turnips. Tell me about that.
Yeah, so kind of old-fashioned this aspect of inter-row ripping, trying to break up the compaction that our cows put on through the winter months. And with that opportunity, as we go over it, we like to try to get, with a Gandy box, turnips within the rows and get their roots established before the canopy of the corn, and then it'll kind of go dormant and it'll just look like it's almost on the verge of dying all through the wet months of July and August. But then when we harvest it, whether we chop it or we combine it, it'll then come to life, and as well as the stalks of the cows are eating in the fall, they'll also have that turnips as well. Just trying to get some cover crops and get as most use as possible off our farmland in the winter months.
Okay. When it comes to your grazing pastures, you were showing me a green strip through one of your fields, your pastures that is. What was going on there?
Yeah, so we're on this new rise of Berjuvra, this spray they put on through a plane to allow the cheatgrass that is just terrible in western Nebraska. It's invasive from Eurasia. That we can't get any use of that from the cattle perspective. So it sprays on pastures through airplanes and allows it to go dormant for 5 years and allow the native grasses to reestablish themselves and hopefully choke out that cheatgrass after 5 or 6 years. And it's seen tremendous results here in western Nebraska, and I hope we continue to work on the funding for it, whether that's helped through cost share projects and through the USDA or the agricultural services, because it'll change our native lands to back where they used to be. And it's just so much greener where we sprayed and it's been 3 or 4 years now on some of those test plots, and now we're trying to get sections done at a time, just hopefully cut back on this invasive species.
Finally, you get your cattle turned out to pasture, or is that still upcoming?
Yes. Again, yesterday, while we were ensiling all of our alfalfa, we got our last 200 cows bred and out to pasture, so we can finally see the green grass and red cows like Christmas in June and July that I like to say, allow our genetics to hit the ground, hopefully here in February and March, and then continue to service the commercial cattle industry.
Well, it's a good sight out here in western Nebraska when everything is green. That's the case right now. As we're catching up with David Schuler by Redington, Nebraska.
This isn't just a beautiful hospital. It's the home to exceptional patient care. This is where specialty clinics meet your needs. This is where a friendly smile, a warm hand, and an empathetic ear exist to care for you. This is us. Box Butte General Hospital. Great things are happening here.
Pet waste and water don't mix. Animal waste decomposes in water, releasing nutrients, which deplete the oxygen fish and other life need to survive and encourage harmful algae growth. Animal waste also has disease-carrying bacteria, making contaminated water unusable. It's easy to prevent pet waste pollution. Simply pick up your pet's waste and dispose of it in a trash can, and avoid letting your pets defecate within 200 feet of our community's waterways. Tri-City Stormwater reminds you it's our water, our responsibility.
Calendar, brought to you by Riverstone Bank. The Community Calendar is brought to you by Riverstone Bank. We're local and we love our community.
Welcome to Kelly's Liquor, your liquor cabinet. Whether you're a wine enthusiast, a whiskey sommelier, a tequila connoisseur, or you just love your beer, Kelly's has the best selection of what you're looking for. Family owned and operated since 1946 and right on 27th Street in Scottsbluff. Come see us today at Kelly's Liquor, your liquor cabinet. And remember to be a good neighbor. Don't drink and drive. Kelly's Liquor, West 27th Street in Scottsbluff.
At Platte Valley Bank, we want to help you take advantage of every adventure. We know you have plans, goals, and dreams. Let us help you with them. Whether it is building, buying, or renovating, we have the home loan or home equity line of credit to fit your needs. Stop in and see us at Platte Valley Bank and let us help make your dreams a reality. You belong here. Platte Valley Bank, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
And finally tonight, the Night Museum and Alliance is inviting the community to join them at their open house later this month for a milestone celebration. On June 27th, 60 years of history will be celebrated at the Night Museum and Sandhill Center. During the celebration, there will also be a grand opening of the Curiosity Closet in the basement level of the museum. During the open house, there will be live music, prize drawings, and root beer floats. Well, that does it for us this time. Thank you so much for tuning in. Stay safe out there, and we'll see you here next time.